and welcome back to my channel. Hi guys. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I take and edit my Instagram photos. First, I'm going to share with you how I take the photos and a few tips and tricks around that. Then I'm going to share with you how I go about editing the photos. And then at the end, I will also share some general tips and tricks and things that I find really helpful. So anyway, let's get started. So the first thing that I want to share that when I take my photos for my Instagram page, I actually tend to use an iPhone. So don't use anything super fancy. Occasionally I will use the camera that I'm filming on right now, which is a Canon G7X. Just saying and putting that out there. Okay, the second thing I always make sure to have in any of my Instagram photos is natural light. So I have natural light hitting me right now. I also have a ring light up. In general, some lights that I try to avoid are fluorescent light that is coming from above. So that's just like any kind of overhead light. Also any light coming from below, that can be like candle light or anything like that. Those just tend to not be super flattering. In general, also a very flattering light is golden hour, which is at sunrise or sunset. You can use the weather app on your phone to figure out when that is if you are super committed to getting a very, very flattering photo with golden hour light. Next up, let's talk about angles. So for the most part on my Instagram, I tend to like all of my photos to feel like they're kind of at eye level, kind of like how we are right now. I never like anything from too far above and anything from too far from below. That's just something that is a personal preference to me, and I think it is more flattering, but I think there are really cool ways to take photos like that if that is flattering for you. Also, if you are having someone else take your photo, I always have my husband take my photo if he is around or willing and not busy, or if you're having a friend. What I find really helpful is to set up the shot, maybe put them in the shot for you, put them in the pose, put them in the area where you want the picture to happen, take a few photos, show them what you are envisioning, and then you can get in and allow them to kind of start taking photos from there. I also highly suggest having them take a test photo of you, so take 1 or 2 photos, and then take a moment to go and check them out, see if you're liking the way that it looks. Sometimes that can be a lifesaver instead of allowing someone to take 10,000 photos of you and then you look at them and you're like, oh, these are actually really horrible and I should have done a test. So make sure to do that. So if you don't have anyone around to take your photo, that's okay. There's a couple of options that you could do. You can use the self timer on iPhone, which is great and super helpful. Or you can put your cell phone into selfie mode and take a video of yourself. I put it into selfie mode, I put it into video mode, and I take a video of me slowly posing in front of the camera. I go back and watch the video. I pause it and kind of skim through it and look for a still moment that is flattering or looks good and is in focus, and you can take a screenshot of that and that can be your photo. Sometimes I use my G7X actually to take photos on Instagram, and I will use the Canon remote app to do that. So what that means is basically I can use this camera and set it up wherever I want to take a photo. I can connect it to my iPhone and basically have it in live mode on my iPhone, and then I can use my phone essentially as the remote. And it's really nice because I can see what's happening right here on my phone, so I can see, oh, this doesn't look good. So then I set myself up, and then you can also take the photo from your iPhone. It's a really great way to take photos when you just don't have anyone else around, and being able to see what's going on your iPhone is very helpful. So once you have taken the photos, whether someone else has taken them for you or you have taken them yourself, make sure you go through all of the photos and select all of your favorites. I do the little heart, so it goes into the favorites folder just to make sure that all of your favorite photos are in the favorites folder. Once I have everything favorited, then I go into Afterlight. Afterlight is kind of my favorite app to use for editing photos. I also use Facetune, but we will get into that a little bit later, what I do in there. So in Afterlight, I tend to always use the same filter, which is called Falls. It is really nice in Afterlight and a lot of different apps is you can actually tone down how strong the filter is. So I usually tone down Falls significantly, maybe about halfway. I just don't like it fully filtered. So the next thing that I always do is I go into Vibrance and I turn that up, not too much. Again, you don't want to look orange or crazy. The next thing I always do is I go to brightness and I turn that up a tiny bit, not too much. I don't like my photos to look overexposed, but I always think brighter tends to do better and feel better and look better. The other thing that is cool about Afterlight is they have the grain effect. I use the second grain effect in Afterlight, and I don't do it too much, just a tiny bit, just to add a little bit of depth and sort of character to the photo. I don't really know what you call that. Okay, so once I do all of that, I make sure to export it to my camera roll. Depending on the photo, sometimes it is fine as is, but sometimes it's not. It depends on the photo. So sometimes I go into Facetune. So Facetune can be a tricky app. You can do a lot of hocus pocus in there, but I tend to just do a few basic things. So sometimes if there is something in the background that I want to go away, and sometimes it's really small things, like it'll just be like a piece of lint on a sweater, or it'll be some dust on the floor in a mirror photo. I did that the other day and I was like, no one's gonna notice this like particle of dust, but I need to remove it, which is what I really like to use the patch effect for. One other thing that I really like to do in there, so sometimes I will go into eye and then you can hit details and you can bump up the detail of your eye. It basically just makes them look a little lighter and a little more sparkly, but I do have blue eyes as you can see here, but sometimes it just adds a little punch and I think it looks really nice, but you have to be careful. Sometimes I see people really using that up to full blast and you just look really crazy and like you have see-through clear eyes. It's crazy. I just do it a tiny bit just to add a little sparkle. Anyway, so that is all I do for the editing aspect. Now that I've showed you how I take the Instagram photos and I showed you how I edit them, now we are going to talk about some general tips, tricks, and things that I like to do on Instagram that I think help in general. If you care about likes and performance and all of those things, I just kind of like the data and I just kind of pay attention to these things because I think it's fun. So one thing that I always do is I always post multiple photos in a carousel. So that's when you see someone's post and they have 3 or 4 or 5 slides of different various poses or moments from a photo. I really like doing that because A, it shows a lot of variety and different things aside from just one still image. You can also do videos and stuff like that. But the other reason why I really like to do that is because I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but I think it's just because when you do the carousel, it just keeps popping up. Instagram's like, hey, I know you saw the first slide, but what about the second or the third or the fourth or the fifth slide? One other thing that I really like to do is batch a photo shoot or batch shoot Instagram photos together. So I will line up 3, 4, 5 outfits and I will shoot as many Instagram photos as I can in a row, whether my husband's helping me or my best friend's helping me. Sometimes I will pay someone to help me with this task. I just feel like if you want to be consistent on Instagram, it is really helpful to take as many photos as you can in a short period of time so you have a ton of content in the bucket that you can use whenever you want. So I will literally ask my mom to take photos for me, whatever it may be, so that if I'm in a moment in my life where I can't really be super active on Instagram, at least I have some stuff in a folder that I can use later in time. I don't know about you guys, but I've definitely felt a little uninspired to post on Instagram. It's just a kind of a weird, difficult time. But I wanted to share with you a couple of ideas of things that you could do at home so you could be active on Instagram and still be posting if you want to do that. So if you are stuck or don't know what to post on Instagram, you can always take a mirror photo. You could take an outfit of the day photo. You could take a selfie. You could post a video of your favorite makeup look that you have done lately. You could also round up 5 of your favorite outfits that you've ever worn and ask people to vote in the comment section below what is their favorite outfit that you've worn. You could share a photo with your partner and talk about why you appreciate them. You could also share a photo of your workspace or maybe a throwback photo from your favorite vacation, or you can share a shelfie, which is a photo of your medicine cabinet, show everyone your skincare or favorite products that you have been using. You could also share a photo of your favorite athleisure outfit that you have been wearing lately. I know I have been sharing that because I've only been wearing like sweatpants and sweatshirts, but sometimes they're really cute, so why not share them? And one other thing that you could share, and I've seen a couple of people do this on Instagram lately, is my camera roll from the week. So people have been clearly sharing like photos from the week that they didn't post on Instagram, and I think that's kind of a really cool way to do sort of a photo library of your week. You know, if you needed a little inspiration, those are a few ideas for you. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful and informative. I really had a lot of fun making it, and I like sharing with you guys how I go about content creation and all of those things. And in general, I just like making videos for YouTube, obviously. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section below what else you would like to see from me. Give this video a thumbs up. I was gonna say, give this video a high five. And I'll see you soon. Bye.